everybody. Welcome. It's Monday night, 8 p.m. Must be time for the Kevindiana Jones Show. So, this is it. Welcome to the third episode of my season coming back. I can't believe how fun this has been. I really did enjoy my time off, but doing this show again is just so great. It's something that I look forward to every week, and it makes Mondays fun, which is one of my days off. So it's always nice to have something like this involved on my day off. And, oh, I have no hat on, so I might as well put on this, the plane scene hat that I haven't really worn that much. So this is my Temple of Doom plane scene appearance. The vintage Harrison. My Azuma Temple of Doom shirt. This is my Penitent Man Leatherworks Temple of Doom strap, vintage style, and it's beautiful. God Almighty, look at this. Look at the cracking on the leather. Some might not like that, but I really, really do. I really, really love that. It adds a lot to it. This is my my thin cowhide Steele Jones jacket, which the other day I spent a good while just kind of rubbing it down because it was still a little shiny, and I like kind of the less shininess of it, and it looks I think it looks a lot better. It always looked good, but I don't know. It looks proper. It looks like a proper Indiana Jones jacket, I gotta say. So this is gonna be a fun one. Just want to say this week in Indy. Last night I had a chat with Caleb Knopf, the Adventure Den, on his show. We talked about Halloween, talked about the season. It was really, really fun. It's on his Instagram, I think. We do get a little drunkies, so it's not for the kids so much. Although we don't really get too bad. It was a really good, fun chat. I really loved it. So yeah, check that out if you'd like. And I also got this took a while. This was stuck in Brooklyn for like 5 days, but man, I didn't care when it showed up. The Dark Matter Props display stand for their Holy Grail, and holy shit, this thing is awesome. I mean I really did kind of go like this, and it gave me goosebumps, and it's doing it again. Fantastic design, really, really well made. You'd think it was made of stone, but then you pick it up and it's I don't know, what is it, resin or something like that. Just beautiful work, as always. They're the best. I kind of want to buy some of their Goonies props. I don't know. I would probably try to do something like Justin did, Aussie Indiana, because he did an awesome little thing with the Goonies, mixing that with Indiana Jones, which is one of our favorite movies, him and I. And we're gonna have a show based on 80s movies at some point, him and I. So it'll be really, really fun. I don't know when we'll do it, but it's gonna be real fun, because that was our time. It was our time down here. Anyways, got another thing. Proper size this time. This is one of the new ones. It's not focusing, but that's all right. Yeah, got such an amazing deal. This one fits really, really well. I like it a lot. I've worn it quite a bit. I know it doesn't work for the costume, but I don't care. So yeah. See? Yep, that's that. That's it. I love this. I love it so much. So now I have this officially with the space beam, which is still red. It's still red. What can you do? But the other one is on its way to its new home, to my dear friend on the other coast, Nathan Smith Finley. So that'll be there in a couple days, buddy. I hope you like it. So yeah, this is wonderful. And I mentioned Justin's little thing that he did with the Goonies, but I don't know if anyone's been paying attention. I'm sure many, if not all of you have been, to Movie Man, Matthew Kinsey's kind of like real life movie book, really, that he's been doing. That has just been incredible, and I think the last one's going to be coming up tonight, and I'm kind of real sad about it. I hope he does another one, because it was so fun, not only to be a part of it, but just to have that to look forward to. I literally would have that kind of like that, not roller coaster feeling when you're going up a roller coaster, but kind of that feeling when you're going down, you're just like, oh, this is awesome. And he's done such an incredible job with it, and I just want to give him a wonderful shout out, because I know the lighter's falling down. We've been enjoying that so much, and I can't wait to see the final one. And You got to do more, buddy. You got to do more. And if anyone from LucasArts or Lucasfilm ever sees it, give this man a job. Give him something to do because he knows Indiana Jones and he proved it on, I don't know how many pages it was, 30 something, 36. Yeah, it's such an amazing achievement that he's done, and I've never seen anything like it. So that's pretty cool. Comic-Con is coming up soon, New York Comic-Con. That'll be here in a couple weeks. October 18th is when I'll be going on Friday. So if anyone is going to be there, please let me know because it'd be fun to see you. I was going to try to see Kevin Smith, but the prices, I'm trying to get my spending a little more under control. So the prices I couldn't really justify for just a few seconds with someone, whether it was at the booth or the photo op, which would have been with Jay and Silent Bob in character, which it's still something I kind of do want to do, but it's like $180 for that or something like that. So I don't think I'll be doing that because I could buy something really cool. If there's a comic book artist there that I really, really love, maybe I could buy something from them and support them because they need the money more than those guys do. I'll tell you that. Comic book artists, they get fucked a lot. So yeah, that'll be fun. I can't wait for that. That'll be a lot of time. I'm actually going to be doing Temple of Doom, not this one. I don't really want to. I don't want to take a. I don't want to spoil a Comic Con. Not spoil, but waste a Comic Con with the plain hat, which I do love now. I do love, but I haven't worn my Herbert Johnson Temple of Doom at a Comic Con yet. I just want to grace it with its presence, basically, because that's a presence that needs to be felt. The Temple of Doom Herbert Johnson hat. It's one that's kind of not as popular as the Raiders hat with the the Streets of Cairo or whatever, but it is a beautiful hat and I adore it. I really adore it. So yeah, this week's show is gonna be really, really cool because this is my first female guest. I met her. This is another guest that I've met in my California adventure, and she's in the California Jones, of course. And it was just so amazing to meet her because her enthusiasm was it. She is the one. When I felt like someone, I felt like a celebrity. She is one of the main people that did that for me because her reaction to seeing me just, my God, it made me feel like I was like at a like a premiere or something like that. It made me really, really, it fulfilled me. So I'm glad she's my guest this week. I hope she's out there. I think she is. Tasha Dahlberg. Welcome to the show. Come on in, and please work. Is there like a delay now with the invite? Because it used to just kind of go bloop, right to it. I don't get it. I don't get things. It says she's invited. It says she's invited. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, thank you very much for watching, everyone. I really appreciate you joining. And a lot of folks have been watching the show on YouTube, so appreciate that if you're watching there. Really, really thank you. Thank you so much. It's something that's cool that I know people do. They like to have me on, like in the background as they're doing stuff around the house on their TV, and that's an accomplishment for me. That's a pretty damn cool accomplishment. All right, let's try this again, but from the other one, because sometimes that does it. I don't know. I don't get it. Yay! There we go. All right. Hello?
Okay, hold on. I'm so sorry. I thought I had this thing turned around. There we
It's
go.
working.
That is my...
It's working. Hello.
Hi, I can't see you, but I hope you can see me.
You can't see me? Oh man.
No.
Well, that sucks. Well, you look fantastic and your background is awesome. Yeah, tell us about everything we're seeing right now. Tell us about your gear. Tell us about that painting.
Well, this fabulous backdrop is actually this is a signed art piece by Jason Palmer. I got the art at the Star Wars Celebration. He signed it for me. You can't really see it too well, but it's right here. I actually had this custom framed, the matting and frames, that's all custom and everything. But yeah, the art piece, this was the smallest piece I could possibly get from him, but I'm not complaining because it's absolutely beautiful.
That is beautiful. That is a perfect backdrop for this occasion, and just to have in general as art on the wall, that is a very, very well chosen piece of art.
Yes,
that's gorgeous. And
yeah.
And now your hat.
Yes. So this is an Agnolita hat, I believe is how you pronounce it. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. This is actually I got this from an Etsy shop. That is the name of the company, I think you would call it. It's from Argentina. This is actually custom made. I believe it's been a while. I believe this is actually made from rabbit felt, but don't quote me on that. You can customize any color, the color ribbon. I really wanted something that was very specific to Arizona because I like Indy's hat, don't get me wrong, but you know, some things I just had to do originally. Everything from the clothes, it had to be like custom to Arizona. This is actually not my first hat that I got. The original one that I have is actually from Amazon. Got it for $9. I like it. I mean, it's just a very basic like wool hat. The only complaint only thing I don't like about it is that it wasn't floppy. It was just a little too straight, but I wanted the color, I wanted it to be a black ribbon. So what I was looking for originally, again, we're talking about back in 2019 when I put this outfit together, this is, well, I mean, you do the best you can. So this is just an upgrade from this. But one of the things I do like about this one is the crown is not as high. Now, this one actually is giving me a little bit of Raiders vibe, so which is actually the gear that I went for. So can't complain about that.
Especially, I mean, that price for you said $9 was that one. That's
Yes,
incredible.
yes, yeah. Versus I can't remember how much this cost, but definitely way more than $9. I can tell you that.
Right. It looks fantastic. They both look cool, but that one looks awesome. That one really fits the character. For anyone watching that doesn't know, she she does a character. She's not cosplaying as Indiana Jones. She's cosplaying as Arizona Jones, which is such an amazing idea, and it works so well. And I've been blessed to read some of the things that you've written, and they've been so cool to read. And you capture the essence of what that character should be were that to exist otherwise. And it's just, I applaud you for that. That's just such a cool thing that you do.
Thank you very much. Creating is just something I've always liked to do. In school, I always liked, writing, creating stories. I'm always like coming up with stuff, daydreaming, especially if it's stuff that I'm inspired by. This is actually the first time where I actually am the character that I've created. So the idea where I try to either add myself or you want to imagine yourself as the hero, that's nothing new for me. But with this, it just all started off, if you want the background story really quick, this actually started back in 2019. I was going to go to my first D23 Expo. And for those of you who don't know what that is a Disney convention, which is held every other year. It only is held 3 days. I had 2 outfits out of the 3 days. My brother was going to go as Indiana Jones, and I thought, well, you know what? I would like to go as well, but I'm going to be original. It gave me the chance to be different and to come up with my own stuff. So I didn't just stop with the outfit, though. I did a background story. We know what Indiana Jones's real name is. It's Henry, so I matched it. So we know his first, middle, and last name. And so if we knew his middle name, I had to come up with a middle name. Everything had to be just as much as possible. And of course, we know what his mother's name is, and so I like how she related to him, through mom, through the dad. So let's create this whole backstory, which was a lot of fun. I had to first start off with the research with a 1930s era, which wasn't really easy because when you look at retro shops, usually they kind of go back to like 50s and 40s. A little bit further back, it's a little hard. I found some 20s stuff, but I had to know what I was looking for. And once you know what the look is like, you then have to go off and searching stuff. Yeah, exactly. Searching for stuff that is very similar. So actually, this jacket, this is a Wested. This is not the original jacket. My original one is this thing. So yeah, this one actually was pretty easy. I got this off of Amazon. It's made of lambskin. I really like it because it really is nice and snug. I still wear this. I mean, this is actually what most of my posts I am wearing. This Wested jacket is Raiders female because they finally did a ladies version. for Indiana Jones.
Oh, so
So,
that is
and
that one. Oh, that's so cool.
yeah, yeah, this is the one you can't really see it well. We got the pockets here. There's some slight differences, you know, with the cut and everything. It's just an inch shorter than my jacket. I had it custom made to how long I wanted it, so I wanted just a little bit shorter than the other one. But yeah, this is also an upgrade, by the way. I would have gotten this if they had one available in 2019, but they didn't, but that's okay. So, and this is actually made from goat leather, which is nice and sturdy, and it's flexible. It lasts longer, and it's lightweight too.
It looks awesome. It looks really, really fantastic. That's so cool to see it in motion also. It really, it's ideal. I'm so glad they did that. That's so damn cool. And I mean, if you could believe it, we've already started the Kevin 11 because we've already kind of delved into some of my questions. So just real quick, tell us about a bit of all the cosplays that you do.
All of them? Okay. Well, okay. It started off with, well, for one thing, I've always had like costumes since I was a kid. I think the first one that I really wanted was Princess Aurora because I love Disney princesses. I'm a huge Disney fan.
Nice.
Uh, yeah. So my first princess was Aurora, and that actually was not my. Well, we're talking about this is kid me. The first one I ended up getting was Snow White, but again, these are costumes. And then after that, I got Aurora. But anyway, upgrading to as an adult, I got a very screen accurate Aurora dress. So it started off with the pink, and then I wanted to get the blue one. So that's why my username is Princess, because, well, for one thing, Tasha Cosplay was already taken, but the first stuff I really wanted to cosplay was princesses and then add some other stuff in between. Arizona Jones was a kind of an unexpected add-on, but I'm not complaining because it's actually had me branch out sooner into other characters like Black Widow. What's I'm thinking about right now? Oh yes, Star Wars, of course. Leia, Padme. So I'm like, I don't have to do all like my princesses first and then branching into it later. I mean, for one thing, it costs money.
Right.
So yeah, so that's what happened. It just kind of started off a little more of a variety sooner than later, but I'm not complaining because it's fun.
Yeah, hell yeah, it's fun. And then you also do Star Trek too, which I'm a huge Star Trek fan.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
do you have a character for that you're doing?
Not currently. Yeah, thank you for bringing up Star Trek because I knew I was missing something. Yeah, I'm a big Star Trek fan. Currently, I am not cosplaying a specific character right now. Right now, the costume I have is just a captain, just myself as a captain, frankly. But without giving too much away, I actually have a couple of costumes slowly in the works from two different original series episodes. So,
Oh, awesome.
yeah, don't want to spoil that, but yeah, I do have a couple that are going to be currently in the works. I don't know if this lady I commissioned she's barely starting in on it, but she's she was recommended to me through like a third party source. So yeah, it's going to be a while, so I don't think I want to share anything just too soon.
That's fantastic. I can't wait to see it whenever it happens. Which one of all the things you do is your favorite and why?
Oh my word, that is hard. Well, are we talking about in general, or are we talking about what's okay? I'm gonna have to give it to the Disney princesses. Those are my favorite, just because I like just the long dresses. I think they're beautiful. It kind of gives me a chance to just step out of the real world and into that kind of not just like old fashioned, but that fairy tale essence kind of thing. But I'm kind of like partial to the princesses anyway. But yeah, I'd have to go for the princesses as number one.
Oh, that's so cool. Well, that's a great answer. I like that. I like that it wasn't like one of the things that like a Star Trek or that exactly. I like that it was your original love. It's still your favorite one. That's so cool. Since you do so many different ones, do the communities vary in environments, like in attitude, or are they all pretty much the same and like positive and helpful?
My personal experience has always been positive, whether it's princess cosplayers or Star Trek cosplayers. I've been lucky to just be part of the right communities. Even when I go to conventions, I haven't gone to a lot, but the ones I've gone to, oh, totally friendly, super nice. All of my cosplay friends, they're just so nice. I mean, there's no jealousy involved. There's no that kind of just all that kind of toxicity. So I have not personally experienced any of that. So I have heard of other stories that my friends have warned me about, and I've been able to stay away from. So no, can't complain. Can't complain.
That's fantastic. That's awesome. I mean, speaking of attitudes, you are one of the few women that do indie cosplay in the community, and you kick so much ass doing it. Have you ever gotten any kind of bad attitudes from men trying to like gatekeep you or anything like that?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely
Excellent.
not. It's been a very, very safe environment. And of course, you might get some of those people. I mean, but you can't totally avoid that. But you kind of just take care of that. I mean, you kind of usually see it coming.
Right.
And it hasn't actually been in person. Thankfully, it's only been online. But it's just frankly eradicated. It's eliminated.
That's fantastic. That's what a great attitude to have about it. That's fantastic. I love that. Do you wish more women would do indie cosplay? I mean, I would love to see it personally.
Oh my goodness, yes. I have seen some great female Indiana cosplayers. A lot of them have been very modern, which is fine. They totally rock the look, but I would absolutely love to see more of that. I mean, shoot, do something that's 1930s. I mean, that's the correct era anyway. And which actually leads me to my next thing is I actually have a pants version of this with different type of instead of my knee-high boots, I have ankle boots. So you just have a little bit alternate variant depending on where, like, the environment of the expedition. So shoot, like, if you don't want to do a skirt version, do a pants version. It's just, it's it's really cool.
That is very cool. I love that. That's great to have that option. Variety is wonderful in all this cosplay stuff.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of Arizona Jones, just maybe tell us a little bit about her.
So she's a year younger than and by the way, if I'm having a hard time talking, it's because I just got not used to doing a live stream here, so that's why
You're doing incredible.
Okay.
You're doing incredible.
Okay. So she is a year younger than Indiana Jones. She was this is one thing I haven't thought of as far as the detail yet. So we know when his birthday is, right? We know the month and we know when the day is. I haven't quite figured that out yet, but that's just like I got so many irons in the fire. It's not important right now. She is a year younger, so that means she was born in 1900. She and Indiana Jones grew up together. They just shared similar adventures. Her personality, I'd say, especially when we started off when they were kids, she was more like she had the adventure spirit in her, but she needed Indiana to kind of give her that push. So let's say they're jumping across a big rock, like a bunch of boulders. They're trying to cross a stream, and maybe something that the next jump's a little too far, and she's still hesitant. I know I would be. And he'd be like, "Come on, Arizona," or her real name, depending on how far back we're going. "Come on, Arizona, you can do it." So like they complement each other. For him, he's that he gives her that push that she needs to find that adventurous spirit, and then which helps her later into her adult life. And so just give her that push. So they have like a brother and sister like relationship. And I know some cousins that actually have that, especially when you grow up in the same area.
Oh, definitely. Oh, definitely. My cousin Alexandra, I used to see her so much that I saw her a little sometimes more than my sister even because she was off in college. And I know exactly what you're saying because we still kind of have that talk. We can just drop right into how we used to be. And that's a great factor to have. And going back to what you said about figuring out the birthday, I was just thinking real quick, it would be maybe important to factor in, I don't know if you believe in like the signs like Aries and all that stuff, but it might maybe like personality factor could play into that from like a Sagittarius or something like that. That might be a little helpful or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. His birthday's in July, and that's kind of my own personal birthday month. So I'm thinking like, oh, I see that's another thing. I don't want to copy, but I want it to be similar versus personality, background. So I figured, well, you know what? Should I really make it a July birthday or should I push it off later? It's got to be later, otherwise you can't have that a year apart because then technically it'd be like 10 months apart,
Right.
8 months want to get technical. So I'm thinking like maybe she's an August baby or maybe a September baby, but I have no idea yet. But yeah, that's an idea.
Cool. I love that. That's awesome. Would you ever make like a movie playing her, like a fan film or anything like that?
Oh my word, yes. So the most I ever hoped for this back when I first created her, like the most I could ever hope for was, do a fan film or something like that. So that would be incredible to do like most of my stunts. Because think about it, pictures can only speak so much. Even like look at a short videos, when you really see what a character is like, it's video. It's when you see them in different environments, how they respond to certain things, and when they're different roles. So how is she at home versus when she's a professor, where she's off on punch the bunch of Nazis in the face. It's yeah. Oh no, absolutely. I actually have a few stories that I've slowly been writing. So when I mentioned earlier that I got too many irons in the fire, that's kind of what I meant. So I kind of like to finish one story, but I kind of want to finish the first story because that's the important thing. That is the true introduction of a character. That's your chance to like capture the audience's attention to whether they like this character or maybe it's just that attention grabbing, like in Raiders you got
Right.
that whole segment of 3 minutes before you actually see Indiana Jones's face, and it's just kind of that build up. It's just all this is very important. I mean, not that you can't watch the third movie first, but usually when you have a film series that comes out, usually it's the first one that is very important that you frankly need to watch first because that's supposed to be the building block to everything.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's just like the Back to the Future movies. You can watch 2 and 3 if you want, but not number 1 is what builds everything and everything. And that's the same thing that Raiders kind of does. You're very right about
Or
that.
Star
Um,
Wars.
and Star Wars, indeed. Absolutely, Star Wars. That's that's one of my favorite character arcs is Luke Skywalker. You see the beginning of him in Star Wars, and then the end of Jedi, how he stands up against the Emperor. It's such a wonderful change that it's just so inspiring to see. Like even in a sci-fi fantasy movie, you can see like really deep kind of stuff happens, and that's just so cool. And I mean, I would love to see you do a movie for Arizona Jones. That would be so cool, and I would love to help maybe to doctor the script a little bit if you ever needed anything like that.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. No, it's be doing that from actually, I mean, it would just be an absolute thrill. Of course, it's just a dream. But if Lucasfilm ever wanted to pick up the story to kind of branch in on that, of course, I would be so thrilled. I mean, who wouldn't?
Yeah,
You
right.
seeing it come to life and all that. I mean, yeah. But of course, what's wrong with fan film? You're doing, you're just being creative. And when you think about it, these original stories, they were just the Indiana Jones. It wasn't some huge epic block movie with the budget and everything, but look how popular it stands.
Yeah.
It's about the plot. That's the key thing, and that's kind of part of the reason why I've been taking my time with a lot of my stories, is because you want it to be good. You could have the best effects, you could have all this stuff, and that helps, but what really matters, the core of it, is the plot.
Absolutely. Oh, it has to be. It has to be. Like you can have what's the saying? You can make a good movie from no, that's not the saying. Never mind. That doesn't fit anything I'm trying to say. Anyway, so
You can have good actors, but if the plot is ridiculous and it's like, no, forget this.
right.
I'm not gonna watch this.
Oh, it's a bad director can't make a good movie work. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's the reverse. A good director can make a bad script work, but a bad director can make a good script work. I don't know, something like that. But yeah, the plot is everything.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's if it for me, I'd rather see a bad movie than a boring movie. And if the plot isn't interesting me, that is like an offense for entertainment. So the plot, it has to be number one. Even bad actors can make something fun. I mean, it doesn't have to be like Olivier all the time. So since we're talking about the indie movies, how old were you when you first discovered them?
That I can't answer that question because I honestly don't have a specific memory. Are you talking about when I first knew about Indiana Jones? Is that what I'm
Or
understanding?
when you first saw the movies?
Oh, okay. Okay. Frankly, to be honest, I was an adult when I actually got to watch these
Hmm.
movies, like from beginning to end, to be honest. But that didn't mean like I knew what the plots were. Well, Raiders and like Last Crusade, the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Like I didn't really know too much about the plot on that one, but I knew these basic plots. But that did affect my love for Indiana Jones. What my first my first exposure was actually going to Disneyland.
Hmm.
My whole family got passes to Disneyland. I was 7, and that was my first. Well, this is a tough question. So I was in my early 20s when I saw the movies finally, but my first exposure was the ride, going on the ride over and over. It's one of my favorite rides, by the way. Uh, but he's such a part of pop culture that he's everywhere. I mean, who doesn't know about the famous boulder chase or
Right.
you
That's
know
true.
hanging off the rope and the whip and the fedora? It's like I don't have a specific memory. I feel like he's been a part of my whole life, and I love archaeology. I love history. So it's just kind of always been a part of my life. And so when I think about the fact that when I didn't get around to seeing these things as an adult, because frankly, like my parents they didn't own the film. My mother saw it when it came out. My dad saw it playing at his brother's house, but we didn't actually own it. And there's so many movies out there, and you realize that the time just goes by. And I wanted to see these things for so long, but then add that to this list of movies, like from here to here, right? But when I think about it, it's like, did it really take that long for me to see it? Because it didn't really affect me any differently. I was always inspired by archaeology. When I thought of one time, I actually considered being maybe looking into archaeology, but I thought, well, it's not Indiana Jones. They make it. I mean, it's fun and everything, but when you're being like all this drama being chased or you're finding something or trapdoors, open up, it's like, well, this is extra fun. This is not exactly the real world here.
Right.
So, but it's like archaeology, Indiana Jones, like those two go together.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. Which one would you say is your favorite
Ra-
movie of the indie movies? Ah, yeah.
Raiders,
Ah, that was
absolutely.
quick.
Yeah, that's it's the one that started it all. It's the one that started it all. I just like the plot, everything about it. It's just you just get to see the whole like his. It's really not much else to say other than the fact that that's the first movie that if it wasn't for that, then you wouldn't have all these other ones.
Or us. We wouldn't be talking to each other if it wasn't for that, you know?
Oh yeah, very true. Very
Yeah.
true. Yeah. And then the second one would be Last Crusade.
Nice.
I love the. Oh,
I love that. Nice. That's a good answer.
it's you delve into his family history, the relationship with his father. You just needed that background story. It really makes you connect with these characters when you know more about their history, and then they have that they needed to rebond. They've been separate. Like they just needed to reconnect, especially after the death of his mother. Sadly, it's based off of what a lot of people go through, and it's one of those many elements that people can connect with. And one of my favorite moments in Last Crusade, actually. I'm not someone that, heads up, I'm not someone that just cries constantly for movies. Like during movies. Sorry about the wording. um, During movies, it has to be a really good plot or a really touching scene to get me to just like tear up a little bit. And when his father thought that indeed,
Mhm.
Harris over the cliff, and he's grabbing him. He says, "I thought I lost you, boy." I'm like, okay, that got me. I can't. It's so precious, and that's when there the plot is really good. It's when it really starts striking you, especially for someone that doesn't just cry every 10 minutes. That's not me.
Right,
So if
right.
you can get me to cry, you got it. You did a really good job. So yeah, yeah.
That's fantastic. I think the moment where he crashes through the window and he gets his head smashed, and his dad goes, Junior, and he jumps up, yes sir. Like, just seeing him almost become subservient to his dad, just be like a little kid again, that humanizes him so much beyond just a big action hero. It makes him a real person that we can, many of us can see ourselves in that moment of him just be like, yeah, oh sorry. And it just makes him, it's the reason it's my favorite one is because of moments like that, where it makes him a realistic person, like when he's on the motorcycle chase and he does that cool thing, and he looked at his dad, and his dad's just like, I'm not approving this at all, and he just looks like, ah, shit, I still don't have him yet. And like you said, when he finally hugs him, that he's been waiting for that hug for so long, for like his entire life basically, and it finally happens only then when he thinks he lost him, and it's just such a beautiful moment. Yeah, so well chosen. That's a good top two. Yeah, so you were at the Dial of Destiny premiere. What was your favorite part of being there?
Probably, well, other than the fact we got to see the movie with the stars, I'd say the highlight was, there's a lot of highlights, but I would have to say just seeing the stars, just coming up to you and just, just being that close. Just the fact that I was there to have the honor of being invited, that's just something I never expected. I would say the whole thing. I mean, it was great weather out, by the way. A little bit overcast, perfect for picture taking.
Lucky.
Um,
And wearing jackets.
What's that?
And wearing jackets as well.
And wearing jackets, that is very true. One very touching moment for me personally was Karen Allen. I got to see her twice. She was so lovely, so nice. So when we got the picture with me, self with me on the red carpet, I actually caught her walking, like after the movie was over. She was leaving the theater, and I said, once again, I said, thank you so much, and I said, I love you so much, and then that was a moment, like, so I caught her like twice, and and then after that whole, when she like, thanked me and all that, and I actually started tearing up, and I think it was just because of all the excitement of the entire day and just like this surreal experience, and I'm tired at the end of the at the end of the night, and then just like all these emotions are just flooding, and I'm like, oh my word, and I just like started tearing up, and then Daniel Reiser actually kind of saw me kind of tearing up, and he just gave me a hug, and I was like, oh, yeah, just like that love of just like the whole community. It's just, yeah, I'd have to say Karen Allen was one of my highlights, just because just to see her twice and just so amazing. She's so lovely. I mean, everybody was lovely.
Right.
But that was one of my favorite moments. And John Rhys Davis, he was actually our first star that actually, like, he made I think he was like one of the first ones that came on the red carpet, but he really made an attempt to talk to every single one that was there. And one of actually the only Sala cosplayer I was standing next to, Kevin, the other Kevin, he just came right up to this Kevin as dressed as Sala, which I'm standing right next to, and just watching getting his magical moment with the Sala. That was just, even this, like, it's about him, but I was just enjoying seeing this interaction happening right next to me.
Yeah, that's a huge thing you're watching. That's so cool. Oh my God. To have been there for that. And Harrison Ford, you saw him as well, right?
Yeah, no, he just walked through, but he like looked at everybody, like he greeted people. And one of the ladies that was I was standing next to, she kind of told me that with the big stars, they don't usually. It sounded like she had been invited to other red carpet premieres, so she seemed to know how it worked. So I was kind of expecting him to just kind of walk through, but he did acknowledge us. He did acknowledge me. He you can see, I'm like, as I'm filming him, you can see him look directly into my camera. So yeah, no, it was nice to get an acknowledgement from him.
Oh,
everybody.
God. That's so awesome. That is so awesome. Who would you say your favorite character in the movies is, other than Indiana Jones?
Anybody?
Anybody.
Well, I have to say Marion.
Yep.
She is quite the gal. She's very spunky. She seems to be the only one that understands Indiana and can handle him, just like she gets him. She's the one true love for him, for sure. I just like her her attitude. She's a little feisty, which I mean, a little, and she knows, and she's not like a typical damsel in distress. She's not afraid to pick up something and hit a bad guy or just to jump in on the action. And I love that, especially when we're talking about the 80s or like the older era.
Absolutely. I mean, the part where she's with Belloc getting hammered and then reveals that she has the knife and she's almost getting out of there. She was really going to do that on her own. She was going to take off and take care of things herself. And I just read that it was their idea to have that happen. So she said, I don't want to be a damsel in distress. I don't want to be waiting for Indy to save me. I think he's gone. I think he left me. So I'm going to work the hell out of here. And that's a great reason that she is a great character. She's really working her way up on my favorite characters list. I mean, I love Marcus and Sala, but yeah, Marion is pretty goddamn good. She's pretty damn good. She's pretty incredible, I gotta say. Are there any other characters that you're thinking of cosplaying at any point that you can reveal?
Um, I would have to say the live action Cinderella, the dress from the live action Cinderella movie. I love that gown. It's so gorgeous. And another one I'm going to say would be Elizabeth Swann. That's so then I can branch into the Pirates era because I
Oh,
love those
sweet.
movies.
Oh, cool.
Yes. So that's,
Oh, I love that idea.
yeah. And when you live in Southern California, you could just drive to the
Yeah,
beach. Yep.
it's perfect for pictures. Oh my God, that'll be awesome to see. I can't wait to see that. This is so cool. What is your favorite cosplay moment in general? Not just in indie, but just in anything. What's your favorite moment, Ben, if you can pick one?
Hmm. Let's see. That is, we're just, oh boy, we're getting really broad here. Hmm. This this really is not related to cosplay, but when I went to my first D23, I met the voice of Belle. Fortunately, I didn't have a Belle cosplay at the time, but that's okay. I was dressed as Aurora, and she was so kind, and she just came right around the corner, and she's like, "Oh, you look so beautiful!" And I was wearing, I was wearing heels at the time, and she's like, her first concern was my feet. I'm like, "Are you comfortable?" I was. And she's like, "Are you?" She's like, "It's like, hey, like, are you comfortable? Are those shoes comfortable?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, I'm fine." So I would probably say, well, I'm just gonna say Paige O'Hara probably because like, yeah, let's see, that's the voice of Belle. So
Yeah.
and I actually relate to Belle a lot, even though she's not my number one favorite. She's the one I relate to the most. So I'd probably say that. Um, Anytime you're in a group where you're all in the same theme, that's really incredible. That actually happened to me last year at LA Comic Con. I was in Star Wars theme, and then there's these group of like extra people who were like rebels and things. They were like dressed in the the Ewok planet, just like camouflage and stuff like that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and I know it's not the same timeline, but still, it's Star Wars, and just like, oh, thank you, Senator. Everyone's just getting into character, and I just started, I'm like, yeah, thank you for your service, and I'm like shaking everyone's hand. It's moments like that when you get to play back and forth with each other. But as far as the highlight with cosplay, I'd have to say Paige O'Hara. But just in general, anytime you have a chance to costume play and get into character, that's any highlight for me, frankly.
I totally agree. I totally agree. That's so awesome. Um, I can't imagine what it would be like. I mean, I would love to meet some voice actors. Maybe I'll do that at this Comic Con because that's something that's been very important to me my whole life, or is animation. So it would really be really cool to meet people behind that, on the voices. So that's a good inspiration. That's a good idea. If you can believe it, those are the questions. We wrapped.
Wow, that was incredibly
I
fast.
know.
It's like I could talk on and on about this. Like if you were to ask me, hey, what's her like? What are artifacts that she actually finds? Like I got a list of that. Like actually she does,
Well,
and it's all based off of real stuff.
let's hear it. Let's hear it.
All right. So it's Montezuma's Treasure. It is the lost poems of it's called what, the lost poems. Wait, Sappho's lost poems. She was a female Greek poet back in the ancient times. And what else? Sappho's lost poems, Montezuma's Treasure, um, the Menorah from the Second Temple. What else? Oh, The Lost Tomb of Queen Nefertiti. That one is actually the second one I want to write. But because it's in Egypt, I don't want it to be the first one because I feel like that's going to get too close to Raiders because that's set in Egypt. So that one has to be the second one. So, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And her real name is Carolyn Eleanor Jones.
That's perfect. I think that's perfect.
And her parents, so she's related to, boy, like my mind was like jumbled in the beginning. So she's related through her father is Henry Sr.'s younger brother. Both Scottish guys. They both married American women. Her mother's name is Helen Ruth Jones. Yeah, what else? Her father's name is William Patrick Jones. So yeah, just that. Her parents' name, I actually decided about, I think, a year ago. It's like, you know what? It's been long enough. I think it's time I figure out what her parents' names are. So, like, it's like, it's okay. It's been long enough. Let's just figure that out. So, yeah, I could go on and on. There is another story that I actually am writing, but it's purely fictional because it's frankly easier for me to do that. But it's just one. I actually have it right here.
Yeah. Ooh.
This is what I keep in my satchel. Like I said, the gear is all Raiders era.
Right.
Okay. So not the clothes, but yeah, like the whip, the 3D printed gun, the holster, all that is Raiders era. So this is just a standard sketchbook journal I got. I just got this from a craft store. It's looks very old fashioned looking.
Looks proper. Yeah, it looks proper.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I only have one thing in here. So this is actually part of a story. It's actually, right now I just call it the medallion. But I actually drew that. I love to draw.
Oh, that's cool. Cool. Oh, I like that. That's cool looking.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so there's like a story behind that and all that. Actually, I was talking when we met in person, I was talking a little bit about this to Kirk Brockman about just trying to get some, just like, just want to share some about, we were just talking and, he gave me some ideas about, what I could call it and just for exchanging ideas back and forth, which is what I love. It's kind of like when they do, when they write a movie or shows, they have like the writers team, which is very important because you're playing ideas often, back and forth. And it really helps to get the inspiration going. You may have the inspiration, but then you got a writer's block. We all know what that's like.
Damn right. Oh my God, that's right. Oh man. So yeah, anything else about Arizona you want to share?
Well, I'm
Have you
gonna
thought
say
of a
that.
theme song for her? Ah.
Oh no, I don't. I don't write music. I haven't even. I haven't really tried, but I feel like that's more John Williams. Like he's would be way better at that, or than me. But no, definitely that would be really cool if she had her own theme, but I wonder what that would sound like. I feel like that would be a little bit of you got to have that feel of that era of like those 80s movies with that cinematic just that beautiful score that we're all familiar with. So
right. A rich big sound, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna like even try. I mean, I could try, but I doubt if it's gonna be anywhere near as good as the original, or just any of those guys.
Well, I'm sure it'll be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, Tasha, this has been amazing talking to you. Thanks so much for being my guest this week. It's a pleasure to have you. It's been an honor to have you, and I'm glad. I hope I get more women on at some point, but I'm glad that you were my first, and it was a joy to meet you in California, and it's a joy to have you on the show. This has been a very quick 50 minutes. I can't believe how fast that zipped by.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. Likewise. Yeah, I feel like we could talk about this for like such a long time. Look, eventually, I'm going to say this one thing. Eventually, I would have cosplayed as this character. It just wouldn't have happened at that place at that time for D23.
Right.
It just started off as just to correlate with my brother, and it would have happened. I can't tell you when. Maybe it would have been a year later. I have no idea. But when you have a love for cosplay or just any fashion, not any fashion, when you have a love and passion for anything, who knows what's in store for you? And that's
Yeah.
one of the beauties I like about this is just that you just follow your heart, you do what you love to do, and who knows what's in store for you. Just keep your dreams alive.
That is
You never
beautifully
know.
said. That's beautifully said. I never thought I'd have a talk show talking to people across the world doing this. I mean, about Indiana Jones, and it's just, passion and love can drive to you to do things that you never thought you'd be doing, but you always wanted to do. And that's a really good point. That's a very good point. So, yeah, thank you so much for being the guest. I'll have you back on at some point. We'll continue this talk, and I hope to see more of your stories at some point.
Thank you very much, Kevin. Yeah, thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. Have a great night. Thank you so much. Well, that was rad. Yay. All right, perfect, huh? Um, I don't know why these always go by so fast. I mean, it's weird how usually the topic is indie based, cosplay based, but there's things that I'll write down question wise that are sometimes answered before I even ask them. And that's just so fun for me because I have backup questions and I can go, boom, boom, that's been answered already. I'm going to go to this. I'm going to change that to this. And there's, it may seem like I'm just kind of following structure, but I'm behind the scenes. I'm like, oh, fuck, now I got to do this, that. Okay, that changes this to that. And damn it all, I'm making this up as I go. And I feel like that makes it so much more fun for me and hopefully for you all. And I love the structure of this. I just love how things have worked out. This is now my 16th show or something like that, 16. And I plan on doing many more. I will be doing a winter break. I'm going to do it like a TV. I'm doing basically like a TV show. I'm going to take a winter break because I'm getting another goddamn gum surgery probably in December or something like that. So I'm going to have my final winter episode in November. Also, it's going to get nuts at my work. I work in a restaurant, and basically the holiday season is it's going to be interesting, and I'm going to need all my free time for decompressing. Clearly, I'm a little tired and a little hungry too. What'll I have tonight? Rich and cheese again, probably cheddar cheese. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. So yeah, that was awesome. That was fantastic. I hope to have more women on this show. My wife did say maybe I could be on sometime, and I thought that would be awesome. That would be really cool for my first live guest to be my wife, and it would be really fun because Indy's sort of always been a part of us. Ironically, it was one of our first dates, maybe our third date. We were running across the street and it turned red and we had to run. And I just grabbed her wrist and started going dun 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 dun, and then she went dun dun dun, and we hummed it together across the street. And that's when you know. That's when you know. I actually knew it on the first date when she brought up Superman. But I think I will have her on the show if she would like. We'll see if that ever happens. It's kind of difficult because she's doing a session right now, so it's not timing wise. Maybe it'll be at 9 o'clock. I don't know. Maybe we could do a later show, earlier show, 7 o'clock, maybe 6 o'clock. Who knows? But we'll see what happens. But next week will be Eugene Shin. This is a wonderful fellow who has done so much for the community. The things that he comes up with and is able to do and bring people together. It's something else, and I can't wait to talk to him about it. And it's going to be very, very soon. A week is going to fly by. It's going to fly right by. 7 days, no big deal. Next Monday, it'll be here soon. I really hope you're having a fun time watching this. I'm having a fun time doing it. This is making the week go by real fast for me, basically, and it gives me something rather than just work. It's nice to have an outlet for just talking to people and having fun with them. And I really appreciate you spending time with me, whether you're watching it here on Instagram or later on YouTube. You're taking time out of your life to spend time with me. I really love that, and that makes me happy. You're all the best. This is Kevindiana Jones signing off. See you next week. Bye bye.